Welcome to Sweet Talk SLP. I'm Krystle and I'm a pediatric speech-language pathologist. And for today's video, we'll be doing a how-to using binding discs. But before we get started, if you're not yet subscribed to my channel, I invite you to subscribe. Also like this video and share it with your friends. Let's get started. So as I mentioned, this is a how-to using binding discs. If you don't know what binding discs are, they are these little discs that you use in place of binder rings to put pages together. And so I put together this articulation book, kind of. And so we'll go over the process and the pricing. I rate the how-tos that I do, especially if I'm following something along, just so that you know what you're getting yourself into if you decide to do the same. So first, thank you to Tiffany from the Speech Tribe on Instagram. She made these little binding discs go viral in the speech therapy world. And so if this is new to you, go to the description box. You'll find her Instagram page, and she has, I think, a story saved of her binding discs. So this is inspired by her. And I saw Shelby the SLP put a book together for the Speechy Things R book or manual. And so she did it with binder rings. So I thought I would do it with my articulation sheets from Adventures in Speech Pathology. So the things that you need to do this project, one is any resource. So this is a resource I chose. You'll need laminating sheets. You'll need the Happy Planner hole puncher. I don't know if there are other binding disc hole punchers. You can Amazon it and check, but I got this from Michael's because it was on sale and it was cheaper than buying this from Amazon. So look on michaels.com, use a coupon or wait for it to go on sale. And then you'll need these binding discs, which I bought from Amazon because you could buy a big set of them and I feel like they're more affordable than the Happy Planner brand of discs. So, and you need a laminator, of course, and a printer or a printing shop. But we'll get more into that later. And so what you have to do clearly is print out all your pages, prepare them in your laminating sheets, run your laminating sheets through your laminator, hole punch your sheets, and then put them in the binding discs, or put the binding discs around them. You can choose whatever colors you have. I decided to go a little bit of a rainbow theme for this one, and then you put them all together. I ran out of laminating sheets for this particular project. I got about halfway done, and I've already ordered laminating sheets. I ordered them earlier this week, but they don't come in for another week or so. So hopefully they'll come in on time. So that I can finish this resource, and then I'll have a better idea to see if these 1-inch binding discs will work for everything or if I want to get some bigger ones. So for now I do have 1-inch binding discs. So with all my how-tos, I do rate them just as I do rate my toys and materials that I purchase from, say, Teachers Pay Teachers or any other speech therapy material source. For my how-to, I have a 3-parameter rating scale, and that is ease, price, and overall. So we're going to break it down together and talk about the ease, price, and overall, my thoughts on this how-to for this resource. So first, the ease. It's time-consuming, but it's fairly easy. I want to say that this pack of half of it took me maybe about an hour's worth of time, which I don't think is terrible. And that might be more than the time that I spent. Maybe it was like 40 minutes, as long as you're efficient with your time. Now, I did mess up a couple of times, or one really big time, I guess it was, in that I put the laminating sheet in the laminator when there was another one still in there and they fused together. And instead of cutting them, because I can't, I went ahead and had to print out those 4 pages again because there was 2 on each page that were fused together, and then relaminate those 2 pages. And then, well, I also ran out of laminating pages, so I didn't have that. And also, I feel like you need a little bit of elbow grease with the Happy Planner, particularly if you're using laminating sheets. I feel like, you know, you can push it through, but sometimes it gets stuck. And so I was really putting my body into it today to make sure it didn't get stuck, which it didn't. And I'm really happy that it didn't get stuck. So that's really good. So the ease of making this product, I would say, is a 5 out of 5. It's a little bit time consuming, but it's nothing unreasonable, I don't think, to have a really great articulation book on hand for you to use. Price. So for me, I feel like it's a 5 out of 5, but with current pricing right now, it's about a 4 out of 5 in my opinion. So I purchased this material, the articulation sheets, from Teachers Pay Teachers from Adventures in Speech Pathology for $8.75. So they were on sale before she did an upgrade to them, and the price has since gone up, and the current price is $15. So I spent $8.75 on the resource itself. I also spent money on the binding discs, but for the 9 binding discs that I used from the pack from Amazon, it came out to about 80 cents, which is not too bad. Laminating sheets. It would be a total of 47 for this packet. I didn't put so if you've purchased this material from Teachers Pay Teachers, there's a few sheets in between where Adventures of Speech Pathology has information on the clip art and, you know, the rules of using her materials. I didn't put those in here. I purchased this, and so I'm using it for my own, you know, personal use, and so I'm following all of her guidelines for this purchase. I just didn't put them in this book to not have extra pages and not use extra lamination. So for the pages that I do have, it would require 47 laminating sheets. I buy them on Amazon in a pack of 200, so it came out to just under $5. About $4.63 is what I calculated. All of these sheets were also printed at Home Depot using the ASHA card for a discount. Now I don't know how much it came out to because I printed a whole lot of things, but if I had to take a guess, I printed it at about $10 to $15 for all of these pages, and I would say it's closer to the $10 range or less, because none of this was color except for the first 2 pages. Everything was black and white. So there is that. So my total for this is, like, making this came out to about $20 or $20 to $25, depending on how much I spent at Home Depot. If you go out and make this now, it would be about $30 to $35. Also, assuming that you go to Home Depot to get it printed, you could print it at home. I just had so many things to print out. I printed out, you know, I think 200 pages worth of materials, mostly in color, but while I was there, I went ahead and printed out all of these things. So I feel for the price for $20, I'm going to say $20 because I feel like I spent about $10 at Home Depot. And for $20 to have this beautiful book, I mean, I don't think you can go wrong with this awesome articulation book. I think it's worth the price. At the $30 to $35 range, it's a little bit pricier, but still I think it's worth it, especially because of how versatile it is. It has so many pages in here, and you can just pop them out to use them and then pop them right back in. And then you can use dry erase markers or any other things to mark on here and then erase it and use it again. So I think it's really worth it. Overall, I'm going to give it a 5 out of 5. I really do like this resource. I think it's really pretty. I can't wait to start using it. I want to put it in my articulation bin that I'm putting together, and I'll do a video of that in the future and show you how that goes. But yeah, I think it's a really neat thing to use these binding discs. I've made one other resource with the binding disc. It was actually the Adventures in Speech Pathology oral motor cards. I think I'd only used 4 to 5 binding discs because it is smaller, but I love it because, you know, it's easier than binder clips. It looks really cute. You pop them in, pop them out, and you can do this with anything that you want to bind. I mean, you can obviously go to Home Depot and print it out and have them bind it, but a lot of times it's not laminated. It's just the paper on its own. And I feel like this is going to last me for a very long time. So overall, 5 out of 5. So for me, 5 out of 5 across, except current pricing is a little bit steep, but I mean, I'm pretty happy with what I spent. So I would say 5 out of 5. Have you ever used these binding discs or any similar binding discs to make any of your materials? Clearly, this doesn't have to be just for speech therapists. teachers out there that need to put materials and resources together, this is great for you. At home, if you're putting things together for projects, I think this is a really neat way to put things together and keep them nice and handy. You can pick any color of binding disc that works for you. You know, you just purchase them on Amazon and, you know, you're good to go. So really cute. I'd love to know your thoughts and, you know, some feedback on what I should buy next, because I have a whole box of binding discs and I want to bind some more things. But yeah, that's all I have for now. If you're not yet subscribed to my channel, I invite you to subscribe. Also like this video and share it with your friends. Ring that notification bell. You'll be notified of my weekly uploads. Again, thank you so much for watching. We'll see you on the next one.